Welcome. Today, we're going to dive into the Indian financial system. Now, I know that sounds like a huge, complicated topic, and honestly, it can be. But we're not going to do it with a bunch of dry, textbook definitions. Nope, we're going to tell a story. The story of a single rupee and its incredible journey through this system. So, let's get started.
Think about it. You work hard. You put some money aside. Maybe it's in a bank. Maybe you've invested it somewhere. But then what? Where does it go? What does it do all day? That's the question. Your money isn't just sitting in a vault somewhere. It's out there, on an adventure.
At its absolute core, the financial system is really just a giant, sophisticated bridge. On one side of the bridge, you've got the savers. That's you, me, anyone with a little extra cash. And on the other side, you've got borrowers. Think of a business that wants to build a new factory, or maybe the government needs to fund a new highway. The system's entire job is to move that money from our side of the bridge to theirs, where it can be used to build and create things. To make this whole thing feel a little more real, let's just pick one rupee. Let's pull her out of your savings, and we'll follow her step by step as she makes her way through this whole world. We'll see the paths she takes, the rules she has to follow, and the work she ends up doing. Ready? Let's follow the money.
Okay, so the first thing our rupee needs is a road to travel on. In the world of finance, these roads are called markets. You can think of them as the massive superhighways that connect all the savers and borrowers. This is where her journey really kicks off.
Right away, our rupee comes to a fork in the road. She's got a choice to make. Is this going to be a short trip or a long one? If she goes into the money market, we're talking a short-term journey, less than a year. A good example is a treasury bill, basically a quick loan to the government. But if she's in it for the long haul, she's headed for the capital market. This is where things like stocks and bonds live. Let's say our rupee is feeling ambitious, so she takes the on-ramp to the capital market.
All right, so she's on the long-term highway. But which lane is she going to take? Well, she can enter the primary market. This is a special lane where a company creates brand new shares for the very first time. Think of an IPO. This is how they raise money directly from investors. Or she could jump into the fast lane, the secondary market. This is what we all think of as the stock market, where traders are buying and selling existing shares from each other all day long. So primary is where the money goes straight to the company. Secondary is where we trade those shares back and forth.
Now, you can't have a superhighway without traffic rules, right? It would be total chaos. The financial system is exactly the same. There are very specific rules, processes, and even police that make sure our rupee's journey is safe, fair, and everything goes smoothly.
So, if our rupee decides to help a new company go public through an IPO, there's a very clear process. First, the company brings in a merchant banker to handle everything. Then, and this is a big one, they have to get approval from the main regulator, SEBI, the Securities and Exchange Board of India. Once they get the green light, they release a detailed document for investors. The IPO opens up, people subscribe, and if all goes well, our rupee is now part of that company's growth story.
And what about in the fast lane, the secondary market? Well, a trade there happens in the blink of an eye. It's a super precise, automated cycle. You place an order, the exchange's super fast computers find a match, and bam, the trade is executed. Then behind the scenes, a clearinghouse guarantees the deal, and in a day or two, it's all settled. The shares are in one person's account, and the money is in the other's.
So who are these referees making sure everyone's playing by the book? Well, for the capital markets, stocks, bonds, all that stuff, you've got SEBI. For the entire banking system and the money market, the big boss is the Reserve Bank of India, or RBI. Then for the insurance world, you have IRDAI. And for all our pension funds, there's the PFRDA. Each one has its own turf to watch over.
Okay, so our rupee has navigated the highways and she's followed all the rules. But what's the point? What is she actually doing? She's not just a number on a screen. She is being put to work, powering the real economy through all kinds of financial services.
And this is where it gets really exciting. Our one little rupee, when she joins up with millions of others, has incredible power. She could become venture capital, providing the seed money for the next big tech startup. She could be used for leasing, helping a small factory get the new equipment it needs. She could be pooled into a mutual fund or become an insurance premium that protects a family from disaster. From helping someone buy a car to building a giant corporation, this is the real-world impact of your savings. Now, this journey we've been following, it's not set in stone. The roads, the rules, the kinds of vehicles on the road, they're all constantly changing. India, the financial system, has gone through a massive transformation over the past 30 years. And believe me, the pace of change is only getting faster. You can really see this evolution in a few big waves.
The whole thing kicked off in the 90s with major reforms that opened up the economy and gave regulators like SEBI their power. Then, the 2000s came along and made everything digital. Suddenly we had online trading and electronic shares. And, well, the last decade has just been an explosion of things like UPI and fintech, completely rewiring how all of us deal with money.
And if you need just one number to really grasp the scale of this recent change, this is it. We are now seeing over 10 billion UPI transactions every single month. That's the kind of insane, widespread adoption of technology that is reshaping the entire financial landscape, making it faster and more accessible than anyone could have imagined.
So, what's next for our rupee? Where's her journey headed? The future is pretty much already here. We're talking about fintech companies offering instant loans through an app, AI making trading decisions in a fraction of a second, new things like crypto and blockchain showing up, and even entirely new kinds of banks that only exist online. The journey is getting faster, smarter, and way more interesting.
And that brings us right back to where we started, doesn't it? That single rupee in your savings isn't just sleeping. It's a part of this huge living system. It's on a journey with the potential to fund the next big idea, build the country's infrastructure, or secure someone's future. The system provides the map, but it's your choices that pick the destination. So the question really is, where do you want your money's journey to take it?